Okay, so rant number 2. This is also going to be unedited because it's going to be awesome. So I cheer, and I really love to cheer. And I pretty much enjoy everyone on the squad except for this one, like, psycho bitch, Holly. Like, oh my god. You've never met someone more psycho. You wanna know why she's psycho? So one day, like, somebody told, we all have to, like, dress the same. Like, we have, like, these shirts from camp and, like, shorts and stuff and, like, warm-ups that are, like, they make us look like, well, they make me look like a sexy blueberry. I don't know about everyone else. Everyone just looks blue and shit, but whatever. And so somebody tells me to wear a warm up with the red shirt, and I'm like, okay, cool, cool, I'll do that. So I come to school, and everyone else is wearing like blue jeans with their blue shirt, and I'm like, oh, it's just whatever. Like, who cares? Like, somebody told me to wear the wrong thing. It's okay. It's no big deal. Holly, she comes up to me and she's all like, you know you're wearing the wrong thing, right? I'm like, no, bitch. I don't know because I haven't seen every other goddamn cheerleader. Yes, I know I'm wearing the wrong goddamn thing. Like, what the fuck? And so I, instead of saying that, because that sounded kind of rude, I decided to be somewhat polite about it. I was just like, yeah, I'm kind of aware of it. Kimmy told me to wear this, and so I did. I guess it's just the wrong thing. It's no big deal. And so, yeah, and she like walks off, and I'm like, God, I hate her. She's a bitch. And then, so at the game that night, I walk over to Alex and ask her like what we're supposed to do because it's right after the JV game, right before the actual girls game. And so I just asked her what we're supposed to do, and she's like, oh, you just hang out or whatever. And then Holly was like, I have a bone to pick with you. And I'm like, okay, grandmother, pick that bone, why don't ya? And so she's all like, I really don't appreciate you calling me a bitch. And I'm kind of bitchy. Like, I call a bunch of people a bitch in one day. And so I didn't really recall me calling her a bitch. And so I was just like, I didn't call you that. What? And she was like, yeah, you did. I heard you. And I was like, okay, I'm not sorry. That would be a lie, and I don't like to lie, so whatever. And so I was just like, well, maybe you shouldn't act like a bitch and you won't get called a bitch. And she just like walked off, and I was like, bitch. And then so we were cheering, and like if you've ever like seen people cheer, like you know whenever like they put their arms down to their sides, like not like straight planes, like it looks like a V, a low V. So we have this one cheer where we like do that and then like clap our hands and like do that. And so Olivia's like scooting over close to me, and I'm like, I'm not getting hit. And so I scoot over, and Holly's just like standing there like a fucking dumbass, like not calling the cheer, not doing shit, just like barely hitting the motions, and she's not even doing it tightly because like nothing about her is tight. And so I like move over, and I'm either gonna get hit by Olivia or I'm gonna hit Holly. And so I'm like, whatever, she can get over it. And so I like slice her freaking hand. I didn't slice it because my nails were cut or whatever. But I like hit her hand, and so we're walking back. And she's like, don't ever hit me again, just saying. And I'm like, fuck you, just saying. And she turns around and just staring at me like, did you just say that? I'm like, bitch, did you hear that come out of my mouth? Of course I said that. And then I'm like, maybe if you were in the right goddamn place, you wouldn't get hit, you dumb bitch. And so she goes home and she like fucking unfriends me on Facebook. I'm like, okay, cool, you're fucking cool, whatever. And so I'm like, I have like 5 million other friends. I don't need you. And so, so one of our other cheerleaders, Brittany, she got into a fight. It was awful. She got her ass kicked. Like, my God, she got her ass kicked. But she's like this big. So what do you expect? Whatever. Not the moral of the story. And so everyone's like, where's Brittany? Where's Brittany? And I'm like, she got into a fight. She might have gone home maybe. And then they were like, oh, tell us about the fight. Tell us about the fight. And so I tell them like the story behind the fight, what happened during the fight, who won, who broke it up, like everything. Because I was there because fights, I always see them. Yeah. Anyways. And she's like, she needs to get kicked off the team. And I'm like, that's not your choice to make. And she's like, well, it's in the rules that if you get into a fight or suspended, then you get kicked off of cheering. And I'm like, suspended, bitch. And she's like, well, she's going to. And I'm like, they're investigating it. She's like, what's there to investigate? I'm like, there's shit to investigate. And then, so she's all like, whatever. And then I'm like, it's also again, and I'm like, you're also supposed to get kicked off of cheering whenever you get 5 demerits. But looky here, you're still on the team. And she's like, I don't have 5 demerits. And so I go through all the times she like skipped practice because she didn't want to go, or when she like skipped a game because she was sick, or caught up in traffic, or on her period. No, she's a fucking man. She doesn't get a period. And so I'm just like, she's like, whatever, Kelsey, whatever. And I'm like, fuck you. Anyways. And then, so, I don't even know. She, like, makes up this whole conversation about how, like, one of the cheer coaches, like, went off on her for not being at one of the games. And, like, first of all, that didn't happen. Second of all, what kind of fucking psycho makes up those goddamn conversations? Fucking crazy. She's fucking crazy. Oh my god, I hate her. She's a fucking crazy bitch. Anyways. And so I'm just like, fucking crazy. And then, so she gets called to one of the cheer coaches' rooms at the high school, and lady starts talking to her and is like, you can't drive yourself to the games, it's not allowed, you can't do that, it's against the rules, we talked to the board, we talked to the principal, they both said you can't do that. And so for some reason she gets this freaking idea that she got kicked off cheering, and I'm like, God, I wish you did, but she didn't. And so I'm just like, what the fuck, what psycho does that? And then anyways, my other reason of why she's a fucking psycho is that, okay, so every year, like, before basketball season or whatever, I think it's, like, during September or something, basketball coach has, like, this steak dinner, like, the rich families in Cheatham County, like, there are not a lot of rich families, well, there are, kind of, but, like, God, it's weird to think that there are, like, rich people in, like, hillbilly capital. And so, anyways, that's not the moral of the story either. And so, and he has, like, this little thing that he has a silent auction and you bid on stuff, and he has this one pack, and it's like you get 2 bleacher seats, like those little comfortable seat chair things, like that don't make your ass hurt for like sitting on the fucking bleachers. 4 4 passes to whichever home games you want to go to. 2 little cup holder things, like to like keep your beer warm or whatever. Like, who the hell wants warm beer? But whatever. And then like this really good parking spot, because the parking at games can get kind of crazy because like a bunch of people go, because like afterwards there's usually a lot of parties and stuff. But anyways, and so like, and you can like, somebody one time paid like $200 for it. Like, oh my god. And so, and some people bought it or whatever. And so Coach Wilson, like before every game, he puts like a cone like right where the parking spot is, and it says like this is where they're supposed to park or whatever, and to go there. And so Holly, for like most of the season, she's been like, before every game she gets there like really early, picks up the cone, moves it, then parks in that spot. Like, fuck, who the hell does that? Like, that's fucking crazy. And then so so the lady like figured out that she was doing it, and so she took a picture of Holly's car. Then she took a picture of Holly's car. Then waited out like until after the game was over with, until Holly came out to her car, and she like went off on her. She chewed her ass to pieces. The lady did, not Holly. Like, if Holly did that, I swear she should have gotten like slammed to the ground. But anyways, and so she like comes back inside, and she's like, no, she wasn't crying. She was like, hun, 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 hun. I don't know. She was making this weird noise, and I was like, what the fuck are you doing? And she was like, some crazy lady just like was out there yelling at me and she made me cry. And I was like, good. You deserve to cry. But anyways, she was like, and she made me cry. And she's like, she's a psycho and she called the police on me. And oh my god. And I'm like standing there and I'm like, who the fuck do you think you are? Like seriously, you're like a crazy ass bitch from hell. Like oh my god, did Satan send you to Cheatham County to just like to piss everybody off? Is that like your purpose in life? Because that's what you're doing. And then so she lives like she's not even zoned for our school. Like I'm not either. I'm supposed to go to Hillwood, but whatever. Like I don't because first of all, don't want to get raped. Second of all, my mom works in the school, so whatever. And Miss Candy's like, it's a really long way for Holly to drive. Can she just like spend the night at your house? And I was like, oh my god. And I was like, there really isn't any room. And then so she was like, don't you have a really big bed? And I nearly said, yeah, but last time I checked, I don't sleep with psychopaths. Like, she can take the dog's bed. Oh, wait, I forgot. I don't want to get psychopath germs all over the freaking dog's bed because he's cute and adorable and stuff. And so, yeah. Oh, and so, thank God she is not spending the night with me. Like, seriously, I would, like, fucking, like, I don't even know. I'd probably, like, I don't know. She probably, like, sleeps with, like, little voodoo dolls and, like, eats them in her sleep. She probably eats her hair. Like, she probably does that. Hair. Okay, so this is the end of my rant. There will probably be a part 2 because the psychoness never ends. So, bye.